Hello, today I'm going to break down Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm going to start off with really higher time frame charts and break it down just to see where we are in terms of the higher time frames. I know everyone's getting a bit giddy about potentially being bullish, but let's bring a little bit of context into what we're seeing on the charts. So what I'm looking at and what I've marked out is the yearly high and this yearly open as potential resistance. So if I want to see more upside, this level needs to break. So we need a break above there, and then there's nothing really stopping this from going to all-time highs. But we need this area to break before we even contemplate getting along this. So let's go down into the daily time frame and have a look at structure. So this is the level you can see on the daily time frame. I'm just going to highlight it for you. Between 46.2 and 48. Whoops, let's get that up. So that would be my area to break. And we do have this structure. What it looks to me, we have this sell off, and this is just a consolidation before another sell off potentially. Until we get above this level around 48k, that is the real level for me to break. Before I can get bullish this. So at the moment we're running into some resistance on the daily time frame, and what do I mean by that? Well, look at these previous highs. We have resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. I would not be along in this straight into resistance. If you're looking to get bullish, wait for that break and retest before hopping into any trades. So let's go down into the lower time frames. Well, actually I'm going to mark out this resistance that Bitcoin is coming into. Huge resistance here, huge resistance here, and yeah, we're starting to see a deceleration here. So could have a potential move to the downside. Let's go down into the hourly time frame. Let's mark out some structure. If this is going to break to the downside, what's holding up this market? Support here, support here, support here, support here. I'd mark out previous highs, resistance, resistance, that level between 43.6, between these highs and this low. If we can break there, break structure, then I think we've got another move to the downside coming, unfortunately, for anyone that was looking for more higher prices. That's not saying it could smash up and break that level. If it does, then we'll be on hand, but at the moment I'm sort of looking for bearish opportunities, and what's holding up the market is all this support and then most recent support and resistance. If we can break that structure and get below previous resistance, then yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Now I've done the same for Ethereum. You might think this is a bit drastic going out to such higher time frames, but it really gives you context of where you are in the market. So I've marked out the yearly high and the yearly open. Let's just say that's around 3.9. Yeah, 3.9, and then the open 3.675 ish, a general area of resistance that we would need to break if we were going to come up and take all-time highs. So there's nothing really, once we break above there, there's nothing stopping us going up and making all-time highs. So let's go down into the daily and have a little look at structure on the daily time frame. Everyone has this pattern on their charts that I can see, this consolidation. What worries me is that everyone is just getting along this breakout, which is fine if your target maybe this high and maybe this high, but if this is a deviation, which I fear it could be, I've marked out this previous high. If we can get below there on a daily closing basis and retest that, that is a perfect opportunity to short. A lot of people will be caught offside and going long this instrument, and I feel that the better move could be if we break back down in. I'm not saying that is going to happen, this is just my thoughts on the market. So if we get that breakdown and retest on the daily, then I think that could open the gates to the downside. So what's really holding down this market at the moment, let's just zoom in, and you can mark this high, feeling the close above that. You would need a daily close above there, retest to come up, and then you're running straight into trouble again. So we do have a level of resistance here that I would be looking for some selling opportunities. So let's go down into the hourly time frame, just like we did with Bitcoin, and have a look at structure. What's holding up the market? Let's zoom in. Let's mark out this. Let's just clone it just to take in as many touches as we can. And then we have our higher time frame resistance, 3K area. So we have support here, support here, support here. If this is a trap, let's see a break back in below those daily consolidation levels. This break in the structure, get below here, and then I think that will open up the gates just back down to around 2.6. So that's my thoughts on the market. From the higher time frames down into the lower time frames, I am sort of looking at this through, this could be a trap, could be a deviation, and if it is, then we'll be on hand to sell. So if you want me to cover any alts, then you can leave a comment on Twitter underneath this video as to which ones you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to